afternoon, sir. I'm Lady Lee Carolina, and I will discuss about the Philippine Qualification Framework. So, what is a qualification? It refers to a package of competencies describing a particular function or job role existing in an economic sector. It covers the work activities required to undertake a particular job role. What is Philippine Qualification Framework or PQF? It is a national policy that describes the levels of educational qualification and set the standards of qualification outcomes. The official recognition of a person learning achievement. The PQF or Philippine Qualification Framework, also known, set a standard for qualification outcomes, which are the knowledge, skill gained by the student after undergoing a particular learning or educational program. So, how do we use this framework? A quality assured national system for the development, recognition, and award of qualification based on standards of knowledge, skills, and values acquired in different ways and methods by learners and workers of a certain country. It is a competency-based. It is labor market driven. It is assessment-based qualification recognition. So, next are the benefits of PQF for the people, the employers, the ENT providers, and the authority. So first is the benefit of the PQF for the person. Encourages lifelong learning, allowing the person to start at the level that suits him and then build up his qualification as his needs and interests develop and change over time. Certificates and licenses recognized by government. So this framework shows pathways and equivalences to help them make informed choices in education and employment growth. As such, the framework promotes mobility, encourages lifelong learning, and works for confidence. So the PQF providers standard for recognizing certificate and licenses that individual may move through and process through. Next, the benefit of PQF for ENT providers. Ensures transparency in training provision, conformance to standards, and preciseness of accountability for learning outcomes. Provide common understanding of policies and guidelines on credit transfer, articulation, portability, bridges, pathways, and RPL. So, ENT means the education and training providers. As the PQF establishes as a standard for education and training providers, it helps guarantee that these providers adhere to a specific benchmark and are accountable for achieving them, ultimately ensuring the quality of education and training. In addition, since the PQF provides common understanding of policies and guidelines in curriculum or program formulation and implementation, it also allows the seamless movement and progression of learners to and from further education and institution. Next, the benefit of PQF for employers. Assures that standards and qualification are consistent to job requirement demand. Provides common understanding on standards, qualification, and levels. With the PQF, employers can reduce jobs mismatch and increase productivity. It provides employees the specific training standards and qualification for and qualification aligned with the industry and pregnaments. The PQF offers employers immediate information on what a worker can be expected to know and do. They are further assured that capabilities are consistent and based on standard. Last but not the least, the benefit of PQF for authorities provides the standards, taxonomy, and typology of qualification as basis for granting approvals to providers and stakeholders, harmonizes qualification in ENT across Philippines. The PQF can help from unity as it harmonizes education and training qualification in the country by establishing the institutionalizing qualification standard. Moreover, the PQF help policy and planning formulation through comparison with the qualification frameworks of other nations, encouraging the forging of mutual recognition arrangement with the ASEAN and the other countries. For Philippines, the PQF coordinates and balances education and employment opportunities for nation building and holistic economic growth. The PQF and its feature as such quality assurance, qualification registrar, pathways and equivalences, and international alignment, strengthening technical education, and consolidate education and impulse resources. Now we proceed the Philippine education system. In our educational system, we need to take 1 year in primary or kinder, 6 years in elementary levels, while in secondary levels, we need to take 4 years in junior high school and 2 years in senior high school. In this level, before we graduate in grade 10, we need to choose tertiary that will help us to our chosen college course. And last, the tertiary levels. This is your choice to study in TESDA program or to get a degree. Let us proceed the PQF. When you say PQF or Philippine Qualification Framework, it is actually a national policy that describes level of qualification or the level of educational qualification over a person and set the standards for the qualification outcomes for every profession. The PQF is a reference system of national standards of qualification that will be earned by an individual, either by a learners, graduate professional, and workers that will support them under work mobility. It is a collaborative program by Department of Education or DepEd, Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA, Commission in Higher Education or CHED, Professional Regulation Commission or PRC, in Department of Labor and Employment or DOLE, to support the needs of each individual in terms of taking the national quality certificate to support them either on their work or on their future careers. So the level 1 to 4 here, the national certificate 1 to 4 can be acquired in TESDA. They are the one who give national certificate, so you have to first undergo training for you to get the national certificate. While the level 6 to 8, it covers by CHED. And this level 5, which is the diploma, where these two subsystem interface, and last is the grade 11 to 12 or the senior high school, is the foundation of these 8 levels. The PQF has 8 levels of qualification differentiated by descriptors of expected expected learning outcomes along the three domains: knowledge, skills, and values application, and degree of independence. For level 1, the knowledge, skills, and values. Knowledge and skills that are manual or concrete are part practical and are operational in focus. The application applied in activities that are set in a limited range of highly familiar and predictable contexts involve straightforward routine issues which are addressed by following set rules, guidelines, or procedures. Degree of independence. In conditions where there is very close support, guidance or supervision, minimum judgment or discretion is needed. The level 2, knowledge, skills, and values. Knowledge and skills that are manual, practical, and or operational in focus with a variety of options. The application of level 2 applied in activities that are set in a range of familiar and predictable contexts involve routines issues which are identified and addressed by selecting from and following a number of set rules, guidelines, or procedures. Degree of independence. In conditions where there is substantial support, guidance, or supervision, limited judgment or discretion is needed. The level 3, knowledge, skills, and values. Knowledge and skills that are a balance of theoretical and or technical and practical. Works involves understanding the work process, contributing the problem solving, and making decisions to determine the process, equipment, and materials to be used. The application applied in activities that are set in context with some unfamiliar or unpredictable aspects, involve routine and non-routine issues which are identified and addressed by interpreting and or applying established guidelines or procedures with some variation. Degree of independence. Application at this level may involve individual responsibility or autonomy and or may involve some responsibility for others. Participation in teams, including team or group coordination. Level 4, the knowledge, skills, and values. Knowledge and skills that are mainly theoretical and or abstract with significant depth in one or more areas, contributing to technical solution or in non-routine or contingency nature. Evaluation and analysis of current practices and the development of new criteria and procedure. The application of level 4 applied in activities that are set in range of contexts, most of which involve a number of unfamiliar and or unpredictable aspects, involve largely non-routine issues which are addressed using guidelines or procedures which require interpretation and or adoption. And the degree of independence of level 4, work involves some leadership and guidance when organizing activities of self and others. Level 5, knowledge, skills, and values. Knowledge and skills that are mainly theoretical and or abstract with significant depth in some areas together with wide-ranging specialized technical, creative, and conceptual skills. Perform work activities demonstrating breadth, depth, and complexity in the planning of initiation of alternative approaches to skill and knowledge application across a broad range of technical and or management requirements, evaluation, and coordination. And the application of level 5 applied in activities that are supervisory, complex, and non-routine which require an extensive interpretation and or adoption or innovation. And the degree of independence of level 5 in condition where there is broad guidance and direction, where judgment is required in planning and selecting appropriate appropriate equipment, services, and techniques for self and others, undertake work involving a participation in the development of strategic initi- initiatives as well as personal responsibility, autonomy in performing complex technical operations or organizing others. And level 6, the knowledge, skills, and values graduates at this level have broad and coherent knowledge and skills in their field of study for professional work and lifelong learning. And application is professional work of research in a specialized field of discipline and or for further study. And the degree of independence of level 6, independent and or in teams of related field with minimal supervision guided by set procedures that frequently require judgment. Level 7, knowledge, skills, and values. Graduate at this level have advanced knowledge and skills in specialized or multidisciplinary field or study for its professional practice or self-directed research. Application applied in professional work that requires leadership and management in a specialized or multidisciplinary professional work, research and or for further study. And the degree of independence of level 7, independent and or in teams of multidisciplinary field with very minimal supervision that involves exercise of leadership and initiative. And the last is level 8, and the knowledge, skills, and values. Graduate at this level we have highly advanced systematic knowledge in very specialized or complex multidisciplinary field of learning for multifaceted research of professional practice of for the advancement of learning. The application of level 8 applied in highly specialized of complex multidisciplinary field of professional work, research, and or further study that required management, expertise, innovation, and leadership. And the last, the degree of independence of level 8, independent and or in teams of multidisciplinary and complex setting with this significant level or of expertise based autonomy and accountability. That's all about the Philippine Qualification Framework, and thank you for listening.